Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Beauty Industry Podcast, your online support community for the professional beauty industry, connecting you with educational pieces, innovative industry product, and inspiration from industry experts. I am your host, founding director of Beauty Industry, Tamara Shaw. Today we are learning about a brand new educational business in the beauty industry, which is the Australian Capital Training Institute, also referred to as ACTI. ACTI delivers cutting-edge modern training courses in beauty, business and IPL and laser, and are conveniently located in Canberra. Their specialised training courses are delivered by experienced educators, and their aim is to be bold about their students' future. The Australian Capital Training Institute are passionate about creating career-ready professionals using their state-of-the-art facilities, exceptional training faculty, and industry experience, which sets them apart from others. Today, talking a change for new graduates, innovation through education, and more, from ACTI, we welcome the director, Elise Birchall.
Thanks for having me, Tamara. It's a pleasure to talk with you today.
Likewise. Firstly, Elise, tell us about yourself and the team there at ACTI.
Perfect. So I'm the director at ACTI and I'm a qualified dermal therapist and educator. My background is in business management and dermal therapies, and for me, I genuinely love the beauty industry and the opportunities it has to offer. And to be completely honest, when I started in the beauty industry, I had no idea that the industry could take you so far and that there were so many career pathways available to you. And I think that's quite a common misconception in the beauty industry as well for a lot of new therapists entering the industry. Anyway, so I started my career as a beauty therapist and I really loved the skin analysis and skin biology components. So after working a little bit in a salon, I completed some training in dermal science, and that was fantastic. It really elevated my skills to the next level. And so I started working for Laser Clinics Australia and also a cosmetic surgeon. And I found that my strengths were performing treatments, but also the training and management aspects too. So it wasn't until Borka Bazeska, who's the CEO of ACTI and the owner of Laser Clinics Australia in Belconnen and Gungahlin, she offered me a training manager position at LCA. That was when I really discovered my love for education and how rewarding it is to be able to pass your skills and knowledge on to others and see those skills demonstrated in the workplace.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct in saying that. I think it is really eye-opening once you get out into the industry and you think of all these different pathways which you can travel down, because when you're studying at beauty college, you kind of just think that your main aim is to become a beauty therapist, and then you get out into the career and you think, wow, I can be manager, in-clinic trainer, I can go into product or development. There are so many pathways.
Exactly. There's so many opportunities. But I think the one thing about the industry that's a little bit tricky is that you're trained at beauty college to be a beauty therapist. But then where do you go for more training for a lot of those career paths? There's a lot of training specifically in business or specifically in education, but not a lot that links the beauty industry with those other industries.
Yeah, and that's 100% right.
Yeah, that's where ACTI comes in a little bit. So ACTI came about, Borka found that within her clinics, there was a real skills gap between what you learn at beauty school and what's actually required of you in the clinical environment. So things like chemical peels, skin analysis, skin consultations, you touch on a little bit at beauty school, but you don't spend much dedicated time.
Yes.
So instead of spending the time and money training staff in clinic, which was taking up a really big chunk of resources, Borka realised that there's a smarter way to train her own therapists, but also ensure that new graduates entering the industry had the right skills for the clinical environment. So addressing the problem from the source.
Yeah. I love that. And so that's what you mean by career-ready professionals, is that,
exactly,
that they're ready to come out and the business owner doesn't need to spend an absolute packet on them for further training.
Exactly. And yeah, so along came ACTI, and I mean, the industry as a whole has grown tremendously over the last 20 years from a service-based industry to really a science-based industry. And therapists need a really good understanding of skin science to be able to achieve results safely for their clients. And that's where we come in.
Absolutely. I love that. It sounds like it's going to be a really amazing institute there.
Thank you.
I've noticed that your mission statement or your tagline is bold vision. So what does that mean and where did that mantra come from?
So our tagline of bold vision is really a representation of us. When we were discussing about what we wanted the school to be and why we wanted it to come about and really our why for the whole business, really it was ultimately for us to see a change in the beauty industry, particularly in the training sphere. So the tagline of bold vision, we wanted our students to be bold about their future. We wanted our training programs to be up to date with industry, pushing the boundaries, and giving the students the most they can have possible out of their education experience. So with our, we have award-winning trainers, we've got smaller classes, we've got industry-leading technology, inspiring educators, all things that contribute to our bold vision for our students' education. So we want them to have a bold vision as well as us. And for us, you know, we're innovative, we're modern, we're keeping up with industry trends, and we want to be bold in what we do. So really trying to make a change in the beauty industry is our bold vision.
I love that. And by the sounds of things, you having that experience and also as well, Borka having the experience of being a clinic owner, you are really at the forefront of the industry because you've got that day-to-day running. So you're not out of touch. It doesn't sound like you're creating a school or courses or programs where what I feel some people do is they create this program from a head office point of view, what I call it. And then when it comes to the practicality of actually using that in clinic, there's no such thing. So it sounds like
that's very true.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got your finger on the pulse there.
Yeah, and I mean, this whole school wouldn't have really come about if we didn't have industry involvement. And it was for noticing a gap in the market in one area, thinking the easiest way to fix this is to do something about it ourselves rather than relying on somebody else. But I think everyone can always benefit from education, whether it be formal education in the form of like a diploma or advanced diploma, or even short courses and things like that too. It's always good to keep your knowledge up to date. To keep up with industry trends. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. I always suggest that when you're completed your studies that you should be going to workshops regularly just to obtain that level of knowledge. Like if you find that there's a day where you can't learn more, then that's the wrong day.
Exactly. And I think a lot of graduates, they thinking I've learnt everything there is to know, and they get quite comfortable in their little bubble. And they're often the ones that don't love the beauty industry, but the students that really thrive in the beauty industry are the ones that love to learn and love to further their education. They're the people we're looking for as well.
Beautiful. And so ACTI is located in Canberra. Talk us through this location choice, and are there any other plans to branch into further locations?
Of course. So we are based in Canberra. Our Borka's clinics are in Canberra as well. So Canberra was the logical choice. Okay. And we needed to look for a location that had easy access to transport, accommodation for students travelling long distances, and close to amenities like shops and gyms and restaurants, all that kind of stuff. So the location that we have in Braddon, it's quite central, and it allows people to come from all over Canberra to come along. So that was a logical choice for us. But branching out to another location interstate is definitely a huge goal for us. Amazing. I'm sure it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys are going to, you've really hit the nail on the head here. So I'm sure that you will expand rapidly.
Fingers crossed.
And so from what I've seen, ACTI has partnered with some well-known names in the industry as a part of developing courses and workshops. Can you just tell our audience who you've partnered with and what the thought process was behind this partnership?
Of course. So our thinking behind inviting industry leaders was really to ensure that we're in touch with any industry changes, but to also let our students know that good learning can come from multiple educators with different backgrounds and experiences. I think it's definitely great to have one teacher that you can rely on and have support from, but it's also fantastic to have a different insight from different people. So we have a bunch of short courses and workshops that, should be a part of a student's lifelong learning to ensure they keep their skills up to date and relevant, as we discussed before. So our courses have been formulated with, I guess, a range of different, concepts and theories and opinions and things like that, so that we have a real understanding of, what different parts of the beauty industry require, what kind of knowledge they need.
Amazing.
And then we combine that into one. So we have 2 industry leaders coming to ACTI soon, actually. We've got Julie Piantadosi. She's an expert in transforming your salon. So she works very much with the traditional beauty salon and the hairdressing industry.
Amazing.
But her skills are relevant across the beauty industry board, whether you're a clinical medi-spa or a beauty salon. So she's coming here to do a few different topics, such as motivating your team, transforming your business into a successful, profitable business. And one that we're really looking forward to, which is called Becoming Disneyland, which is all about giving your customers the experience of the wow, like, this place is amazing. So
yes,
we're really looking forward to her coming. She's coming in August after coming back from America, so not too far away. We also have Gay Wardle. She's a skin expert in the industry, and she's going to be running a workshop in July on advanced skin analysis. It looks fantastic. We can't wait. And I mean, we have lots of not just beauty therapists coming to these courses, but registered nurses who want a little bit more information on cosmetic medicine or cosmetic science. So it's really quite a broad audience that we've got coming to these classes, which is great.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you're talking about, growing your business, making it more profitable and advanced consultations, it doesn't sound like a basic, first day at beauty school. So can anyone attend these kind of additional workshops?
Yeah, anyone can attend these short courses and workshops. For the ones that we recommend you do have a beauty background, we do specifically state, just because there might be some required knowledge of you. Yeah. But I mean, even if you're new to the beauty industry and you are attending an advanced skin course, you can still learn so much. Whether or not all of it will sink in at once, I'm not sure. But these courses are designed for anyone to attend at any skill level and any career path that you have, whether you're an owner or a nurse or a beauty therapist.
Yeah, amazing. It sounds like I might need to do a little trip to
We'd love to have you.
And so clearly, as we've been talking about, there are so many differences already that I'm seeing that kind of separate ACTI and other beauty schools. My thought process is that there is so much competition for training schools in the beauty industry. If I was thinking about going to a workshop with ACTI or another competition training school, what would be the key difference that I would choose you guys?
Well, I mean, ACTI came about as a result of a skills gap in the market, particularly between the traditional beauty and the clinical environment. So from the get-go, we knew that we wanted to be innovative and modern and really be a reflection of the 21st century and its learning capabilities. So the main difference for our school is that we want our graduates to leave with skills that maybe are not typically taught to beauty therapy students, such as soft skills, customer service, business management, dealing with difficult clients, personal presentation. We didn't really want to have a heavy focus on things like makeup. That's not really our core focus. We're more about the skin science, I should say. So we want our graduates to be able to step foot in a clinical environment and a traditional spa and know exactly how it works, what to do, and how to be a great therapist, really. So our courses do focus a lot on skin biology and skin science, but we do still teach the traditional elements as well. So we cover everything. And also, too, we want our graduates to be aware of their pathways in the industry. So do they want to be a beauty therapist, a skin therapist, a laser therapist, a clinic manager, or even an educator? And then how do they get there? What training and experience do they need? So we're all about giving our students a career path rather than just a job.
Yeah, I love that. So really practical based training and then also pathways.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, incredible. I remember back when I was managing spas and clinics, and the first thing I would always hire graduates from beauty school because I just loved their passion. They were willing to learn. They didn't have any bad habits, but the first thing I would do is I would strip them down of their presentation and I would say, right, everything you've learned in beauty school, we're going to rejig that because you need to bring it up a level, or your conversations, you're not just saying yes or thanks anymore. It's absolutely not a problem, not a trouble, So it was really advancing all of that. So it sounds like you're really getting those students ready for the industry, which I absolutely love.
And we'd love to get the students to that point where they can enter a job as a beauty graduate, and it doesn't have to say, we're going to take you to the next level, or we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We want them to already be there. Fantastic beauty therapists. And I think that comes through a combination of great theory and practical training, but also to a lot of hands-on experience, whether that be in a student salon or in a like a work experience environment at a proper salon. Yeah. I think having a proper understanding of what's actually required of you is something that's missing in a lot of training environments, and that's something we're really conscious of.
Fantastic. At the moment, there are a few short courses that are offered through ACTI with accreditation potentially coming soon. What kind of accredited courses are you looking to provide?
So we've applied to have in scope 3 different courses. We've got the Diploma of Beauty Therapy, which is obviously quite important to us.
Yes.
We've got a graduate certificate in IPL and laser hair reduction. Amazing. And the Diploma of Leadership and Management. So these 3 we chose as the 3 were most relevant to I guess, the clinical environment. And we're also anticipating too a lot of industry change in terms of who can operate a laser and IPL and that kind of thing too. So kind of getting ready for any industry movements before they happen. So I guess the diploma was put into train the beauty therapist from the start in terms of this is what's required of you to be a great therapist.
Yes.
And then offering the graduate certificate in IPL and laser hair reduction either as a career pathway or the Diploma of Leadership and Management as, I know I want to be a therapist, but maybe I want to be a clinic manager as well. And this is what I need to get there.
I love both of those. So the IPL and laser, I think, is so relevant these days because everyone is doing IPL and laser. And in my personal opinion, I believe that waxing's, on the downward trend. And I think that it is so important that you do have some basic knowledge around this. So fantastic. Well done there. And then you've also mentioned there a diploma of leadership and management, which I believe is certainly needed in the beauty industry. Once again, just to bridge the gap between therapist and manager, because at the moment it's kind of like, right, well, you're our top selling therapist and we need a manager. Is that you? Or, you're kind of selecting the therapist that may have the best rapport with all of your staff. So I think that diploma of leadership and management is certainly needed. Can you shed some further light on that particular course for me?
Definitely. Everything that you said just then was 100% bang on. One of Borka's favourite sayings is that just because you're a good therapist doesn't automatically make you a good manager.
Yes.
And we both noticed that the industry is lacking training for beauty therapy or clinic managers who have an understanding of skin treatments, but also know how to deal with the clinical environment or the salon environment and things like managing your team, communicating, dealing with client complaints, and really knowing how to run a successful clinic and motivate their team, because that's what the primary role is at the end of the day. So this course to us is really essential to the growth of the industry. You can't grow a clinic without a successful manager. And this industry is only getting bigger and bigger, and our education opportunities need to think a little bit more broadly than just beauty knowledge. So that's where our Diploma of Leadership and Management came in.
I love that, and I couldn't agree more. I think sometimes even a beauty therapist would see their manager and, they may see them 80% of the time at the computer or in an office or off location, and they think, oh, that's an easy job. Wait till I'm the manager. And then they become the manager and they see that actually there's 10 balls up in the air and we are juggling non-stop. And then they get into the role, the owner or somebody else has invested so much training for them to learn how to be a manager. And then they think, wow, I really didn't know about all this leadership, all this management, all this team and culture kind of subjects. This really isn't for me. So I really, really enjoy how you are bridging that gap. And it kind of is like, right, well, you think you're going to be a manager. Perfect. Why don't you head into this diploma, see if it's for you? And therapists will find out very soon if it's not for them.
Exactly. It was quite funny, actually. When I finished school, I didn't know what I wanted to study at university. So I thought I'll do a degree in business management because it's quite versatile. And really, it was as interesting as business management could be. And I found that when I came into the beauty industry, the things you even learn at a university level, they're general skills, which is fantastic.
Yes.
But it's hard often to apply those general skills to a very specific industry like the beauty industry. So this diploma is a lot for us, kind of catered towards the beauty industry too. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're not in the beauty industry, you can definitely complete this course and still be able to walk into a management role. But this particular one is a lot to do with client interactions and managing a team that's, I guess, sales driven or sales based, because that's where we found there was a big gap in our particular clinics too.
Yeah, I'm always, in the whole creating of beauty industry is about creating community, culture, fruitful conversations. So I'm all about that team and culture. And I just believe that if you have a great manager who leads from the front rather than telling everyone to do things, it's the best way to manage. And if they can learn that in your diploma, that is just going to be industry breaking.
And you look at the most successful clinics across Australia, and they're all driven by really motivated, passionate staff. But at the core of it is a fantastic manager and a fantastic owner who know what their business is about and what their job is to do, and that job is to help their team. So really, really important, yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Can you point us in the direction of finding out some more information if any of our audience are interested in learning more about ACTI or the courses you provide?
Definitely. So the best place to look would be on our website, which is www.actitraining.com.au. That has quite a bit of information for students, for employers. We've also got Facebook and Instagram under ACTI Training. And also, too, we love to hear from industry leaders and experts who might want to be a part of our bold vision. So maybe delivering some short courses or coming to guest speak at some of our diploma classes and things like that.
Incredible.
Yeah, we really love that really broad learning experience. So if anyone wants to get in touch, we'd be more than grateful.
Amazing. That's a pretty incredible pathway for our listeners if they're out there. So thank you for letting us know that. It's amazing.
No, thank you for your time today. It's been fantastic to feature on this podcast. It's really exciting.
Yeah, an absolute pleasure. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, Elise. We will definitely link all of the ACTI website, Facebook, all of your socials and digitals through to our online community. So if you wish to chat with Elise further, please, you can absolutely feel free to reach out. And as she said, you might even be able to partner up with ACTI and become a speaker or host those workshops. So certainly lots of opportunities for our listeners there. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Elise.
Thank you so much, Tamara. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. As always, if you have enjoyed today's podcast, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and give us a 5-star rating and share it with all of your industry colleagues. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social channels. We're on the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and if you haven't yet, make sure you jump on Beauty Industry website and create a member profile. We are halfway through to having our complimentary profiles, and shortly we have some big exciting news involved. So make sure you jump on there. As you see the numbers tick over, that is limited spaces. So be sure to create a profile. Until next time, stay connected. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 9 of the Beauty Industry Podcast. Next week, we speak with Kate Flamia of Press Play Cosmetics and Smart Skin Clinics on her journey through building an empire in the beauty industry. Until then, stay connected.